Hey boys, tonight I'll tell you about a clever man named Alexander Graham Bell. He wasn't famous just because he loved machines. He cared about people who couldn't hear. Alexander was born in Scotland in 1847. His family studied speech and sound. Sound is vibrations in the air, tiny wiggles that our ears turn into words. He learned a system called visible speech that helped people who were deaf learn to speak by watching mouth shapes. Deaf means a person has little or no hearing. We can also say hearing impaired. In his 20s, he moved to Canada, then to Boston, and he taught children who were deaf. He taught because he loved his students, and one of them became very special to him, Mabel Hubbard, who was deaf from childhood. They talked with hands and helped each other find new ways to learn. Now, let me ask you, have you ever tried to send a message to someone far away? Back then, people used the telegraph, which sent short electric clicks over wires to spell letters. But Alexander wanted to send not clicks, but voices, real words. That was the big challenge. How to change a human voice into an electric signal, send it down a wire, and change it back into sound at the other end. Think of a voice as a little wave. Vibrations make air move. Could those vibrations be copied with electricity? Alexander worked with a young mechanic named Thomas Watson. They tested metal, needles, membranes, anything that could turn sound into an electrical pattern. Sometimes the experiments failed. Sometimes the wire just squealed. But Alexander kept going because he was thinking of the people he loved, his students and Mabel, who deserved to hear and be heard. He believed technology should help people with disabilities so they could join conversations and feel included. Then came the moment of triumph. On a spring day in 1876, after many tries, Alexander spoke into his new instrument. His voice traveled as an electrical pattern down a wire to Watson in the next room, and the first clear words heard through that strange box were, "Mr. Watson, come here, I want to see you." That sentence is famous. It shows the invention worked. The telephone was born. But remember why Alexander worked so hard: to help people communicate, especially those who struggled with hearing. He kept teaching deaf students, improving devices, and trying to make life better for others. He also took out a patent. That's a legal paper that says you invented something and own the right to it for a while. So his work could be recognized and shared. What can we learn from Alexander Graham Bell? He used his gifts, his knowledge of sound and his kindness to solve a hard problem. He looked out for people who needed help, and that made him a hero. So when you see someone who learns differently or who can't hear, what should you do? Be patient, include them, try new ways to talk, and play. That is how we follow Alexander's example, just like Alexander Graham Bell. Real men look out for and include people with disabilities. And when you look out for and help friends who are deaf or have disabilities, you will be a real man too.